Well, hey there, my friends. It's Catherine from CatherinePooler.com. I have some products to reveal to you today. First off, I'm going to show you this fantastic color palette. These are Spa Collection colors along with two of our neutrals. So we have Rouge, Mandarin Spice, Sauna, Green Tea, and Eucalyptus. These are all sophisticated, muted, undertoned colors, and they work perfectly together. These colors feel very 1970s and 80s retro to me. Did anybody else have an avocado stove and an orange phone in the kitchen? Well, we loved it so much that we decided to create an entire collection of products around based on this color collection and the theme of the kitchen. So we are starting with the Potluck Party Paper pack. Say that 5 times fast. All of these patterns remind us of the kitchen, of patterns that you would have seen back in that time period, and they all coordinate together and they all use the same color palette from our Spa collection of inks. So it's really, really easy for you to pick your colors, grab your inks, grab your pattern paper, and get stamping. And you'll see when we reveal all of the products that all the products go really well with this paper pack. We also have some sequins. So introducing the Des Moines Sequin Mix, which is a gorgeous mix of different sizes and some different shapes and textures and finishes of sequins that coordinate with the colors in this patterned paper pack. Now we've added the paper pack and the sequins to a brand new bundle called Kitchen Staples. It also includes our new stitched rectangles and our picture frame dies. These were created to coordinate together and layer together so that you can use them to do the stitched rectangle and then do a layer with the picture frame behind it. So there are so many ways to use these dies beyond the obvious. Use one, a smaller one inside the other to create a frame. Make a shaker card, embellish with a sentiment and some flowers. Here the frame is stamped and then embellished with different images. So cute. Here we have a large square die cut right out of the front of the card, backed with some patterned paper, and then a frame added to the front and embellished with some images. Here we have inlaid die cutting, so the two smaller sizes, one laid inside the other. And then here we have two sizes, one straight on and one at an angle. Here is another sample where the frame was cut right out of the card front. Layered behind it is a stenciled technique piece embellished with that fun telephone. You may want to stamp a bunch of carrots across the front and then die cut right out of the front of your card and then pop that up on foam tape. Here's another one. I thought this was really clever by Christy Goulet. She stamped the peas, which is so adorable, and then just cut it in half and put it on the front of the card. Now this last card here is the epitome of my teenage years. I spent a lot of time on an orange phone in my kitchen. That cord stretched as far as I could get it. And that olive green color was a big part of our decor as well. So I love this collection of products. So let's move on to the Veggies Please bundle. We have the Veggies Please Stamp Set. Really super cute. It has an onion, some carrots, an artichoke, a tomato, and the peas, and some fun sentiments. Some of them are a little bit punny. And then we have the Magnetic Messages Stamp Set. So this is a stamp set. We'll stamp with it in a minute, but it reminds me of those magnet messages that you put on the refrigerator. And then we have the Roxanne background stamp. You'll have to hop over to my blog post. I'll link it below, and I'll give you the background on why we named this stamp what we did. And then we have the Off the Loom Stencil. So those products are all included in the Veggies Please bundle. Now you can purchase all of these products a la carte. Just pick and choose your favorites, or if you want the entire bundle, we always do discounted pricing on bundles. So let's take a look at some cards that you can create with this. Some of these projects will be on my blog. They will also be on Instagram and our Pinterest board, so be sure you follow us all on those channels. I will leave the links below in the description so you can check them out. So let's take a look at some of these products in action. First is the Roxanne background stamp. I'm inking it up with our Mandarin Spice ink pad. Our inks are on a foam pad, so they transfer ink to any surface really easily. So those background stamps are super easy to ink up. I do like to use my Misty stamping tool because the surface is so big, sometimes it's easy to miss a spot. But with the stamping tool, you can stamp twice and get, or more than twice if you need to, but you're going to get a great image this way. The Roxanne background stamp was made to look like it was painted or watercolored, so it's meant to be kind of splotchy. It's just a really fun look. And then the magnetic messages. And similar to the background stamp, when I have a large surface area that I'm inking, I like to use my Misty just to be sure. You can try stamping with your blocks and you probably will be pretty successful, but if you have a Misty stamping tool, it's just going to make it a little bit easier for you. So you can stamp once, and if you don't get full coverage, you can stamp again. Now, our inks are really juicy and the foam transfers ink so easily. So you may get your stamp inked up a little bit more than you want to. And if you do that or if you push down really hard when you're stamping, the photopolymer will kind of spread out a little bit and the ink will fill into the spaces that are supposed to be open. So I always do recommend practicing a little bit with a stamp like this. I have been stamping for almost 2 decades now, and I still practice with my stamps before going to my project. So don't feel like that's abnormal. This is a handcraft. It's handmade. It's not machine made. So it's not going to be perfect every single time you try to create something. So just practice, get some scratch paper, and get the feel of the pressure and how much your stamp needs to be inked. Now, cleaning the stamps is very easy. I just keep a paper towel nearby and I spray it with a little bit of water, and I'm able to wipe my stamps completely clean. You may have a little bit of stamping with some of the inks, such as reds. They may stain a little bit, tint your stamp. That is okay, as long as when you're stamping on scratch paper, it is clear, you're good to go into the next color. Our ink is also great because there's no ink transfer. So if your stamp is clean but tinted or stained, it won't pull it won't pull that residue off and muddy your next image. And our black is definitely a very heavy staining ink, so just be careful with that and go with a light hand. Next, I wanted to show you our Off the Loom stencil. I decided to grab my Daydream ink pad. This is one of my favorite blues. It's just gorgeous. It is not in our paper pack color palette, but it is a really fantastic accent color if you're looking for another color to add to this color palette. So I'm using my life-changing brush and I'm just ink blending over the top of the stencil. And you can see in some places I got a heavier hand, some places I got a lighter color. I did that on purpose. I wanted it to be different intensities of color in different places. So I thought that was a cool look. I wasn't sure at first how I was going to use it on my card, but then I decided to do it cockeyed, lopsided, kind of cattywampus on there, and so I glued it on and then just trimmed the excess off. I trimmed my main layer piece with all of my sentiments on it down to about 3.5 by 4 3/4. So I trimmed, I think, about 3/4 of an inch off of each side. And then I added foam tape to the back and this cute little herb pot from the Veggies Please stamp set. So you can see this little pot here. It's so cute. And there's a couple different herbs that you can stamp inside the pot. You can also use the greenery from the top of the carrot. So fun. So the In the Kitchen release with the kitchen staples bundle and the Veggie Please bundle is going to be so much fun to create retro looking cards, remind you of the 70s and 80s, and I think you guys are going to love this collection as much as we do. Leave me a comment, let me know what your favorite memory of the 70s and 80s is. Can't wait to hear what you think. Thanks for being here, and I will see you again soon.